What is the difference between temporary tables and table variables and CTEs, common table expressions? The main difference, the differences between the temporary tables and table variables and common table expressions. So coming to here, what is the temporary tables? Temporary tables, hashtag temp. So temp temporary tables, temp tables are created at runtime. Temp tables are created at runtime. Temp tables are created at runtime and they are physically stored in a temp under system database. Temporary tables, temp tables are created at runtime and they are physically stored in a temp under the system databases. So you can see the temp tables are created at runtime and they are physically stored in the tempdb under system databases. Temporary tables are created at runtime and they are physically stored in a tempdb under the system databases. So temp tables are similar to the normal tables and they have constants, keys and indexes. We can perform all operations in the temp table like a normal table. So it is a temp table are created at runtime and they are physically stored in the tempdb under the system databases. Temp tables are to similar to normal tables and they also have constant keys and indexes. We can perform all the operations in a temp table like a normal table. We can perform all the operations like a normal table. So it's temp tables are created at runtime and they are physically stored in a tempdb under the system databases. And temp tables are similar to the normal tables. They also have keys, indexes, etc. And we can perform all the operations in the temp table like a normal table. So here you can see SQL Server. SQL Server provides two types of temporary tables. SQL Server provides two types of temporary tables. See, SQL Server provides the two types of temporary tables. One is local temp tables and global temp tables. Local temp tables, which means, see here, which are session scope, and local temp tables are only available to the current session that is created them. The local temp tables are automatically deleted when the session is closed. The local temp table name is started with the single hash. So when which are the session scope? Local temp tables are the local temp tables are temp tables are only available to the current session that are created, and the local temp tables are automatically deleted when the session is closed. The local temp table or local temp table name is started with the single hash. We can start with the single hash. It will so whenever you are querying, you open one query window, right? So that is one session. That is only if you are executing that query window, then it will up to that query window only. If you are close that session, the temp table also deleted. So global temp tables which are visible across all the session until explicitly dropped are all user disconnected. The global temp table name is started with the double hash. Global temp table is started with the double hash. Uh, it will visible across all the session until the explicitly dropped all the user disconnected. And temp variable also called table variables. Temp variables also called table variables. Temp variables is also called table variables. The temp variable is similar to the temp table to use holding the temporary data, and the scope of the temp variable is limited to the current batch and current store procedure, or temp variable deleted automatically when the batch or procedure completes. The temp variable name is started with the at the rate, and the temp variables are creating using the declare statement. A temp variable, it's like a at the rate, So temp variable are also called temporary table variables. So temp variable name is started with the at the rate. And coming to the common table expression, so the common table expression is used to hold the temporary named results. CTE is hold the temporary named result set. CTE is used to hold the temporary named result set or results of complex subquery. See, CTE is used to hold the temporary named result set or results of complex subquery. So CTE is used to hold the temporary named result set. Temporary named result set. Temporary named result set. CTE is a temporary named result set or results of a complex subquery. The scope of CTE is limited to the current query execution only. Current query and expires after the execution. The scope of CTE is limited to the current query execution, and CTE improves the readability and ease in the maintenance of complex queries and subqueries. CTE allows to update and delete the operations directly when used to filter the target rows, and while insert into the CTE is not allowed, we can insert into the base tables using the CTEs as data source. And there are two types of common table expression: non-recursive and recursive. It does not have the reference itself, and when CTE is referenced to it, yeah, this one. Okay, CTE is hold the temporary name result set. Generally, temp tables are created at runtime, physically stored in a temp DB and under the system databases. And temp tables are similar to the normal tables. We can perform all the operations like normal tables. And the temp variables is also is a temp, also called as an table variables. And the temp variable name is started with the at the rate and at the rate variable name. And then we can see CTE is also used to hold the temporary named result set or results of the complex subquery. The scope of CTE is limited to the current query execution only. These are the main differences.